The cantina on Nexus 7 station smelled like oil, burnt metal, and fear. Smoke drifted through the air from various alien smoking devices. In the darkest corner where shadows hid most details sat the most feared bounty hunter in known space. Zektar the Endless picked his teeth with a claw that could cut through steel. His reptilian skin shifted colors slightly, matching the dark metal wall behind him. Other customers in the cantina whispered when they thought he could not hear them. They were wrong. His hearing was much better than theirs. Is that really him? A small blue alien asked his friend. Yes, that is Zektar. He has never failed to bring back a target. Dead or alive, it does not matter to him. The Catherian bounty hunter smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. His reputation was everything in this business. Fear was a tool just like his claws or his plasma rifle. When people heard his name, they ran. Smart ones ran very far. Zektar stood nearly 8 feet tall when he stretched to his full height. His arms were longer than a human's, ending in hands that had 4 fingers and 1 thumb. Each finger had a retractable claw that stayed sharp without any care. His legs were built for jumping and running. He could move faster than most species could think. The wall behind his table held his trophies. Each one came from a different hunt. The skull of Mordak the Destroyer, a war chief who had killed 300 soldiers before Zektar found him. The crystallized heart of a Vegan crystalborn who could turn his skin harder than diamond. The neural implant of Cyberjack, a Proximan rebel who had machine parts for half his body. 17 different species, 17 different ways to kill. Zektar had learned them all. A nervous Talaxian merchant approached his table. The small gray alien's hands shook as he held a datapad. Talaxians looked like skinny humans with large black eyes and no hair. This one wore expensive clothes, but sweat stains showed through the fabric. Great hunter, the Talaxian said, his voice squeaking. I have a job for you. Zektar did not look up from cleaning his claws. I choose my own jobs. This one pays 10 times your normal rate. Now Zektar looked up, his yellow eyes fixed on the merchant. Talk. The Talaxian placed the datapad on the table. The target is a thief. He stole very valuable cargo from my ship. Antimatter cores worth millions of credits. Zektar picked up the datapad. The screen showed a picture of the target and basic information. The target was male, about 6 feet tall, with brown hair and brown eyes. His name was Marcus Chen, species human. Human, Zektar said. He had heard of them, but never hunted one. From Earth? Yes, he was a soldier for their military. Now he runs cargo between systems. Very dangerous, they say. Zektar laughed, a sound like metal scraping stone. They all say their people are dangerous. What makes humans special? The Talaxian shifted nervously. Nothing special. They are weak. Average strength, slow reflexes. No natural weapons or armor. Should be easy for someone like you. Zektar studied the human's picture. Marcus Chen looked ordinary. Humans seemed like one of the weakest species he had seen. No claws, no thick skin, no enhanced senses. How had they even survived long enough to reach space? Where is he now? Mining colony in the Tau Ceti system. Edge of human space. He thinks he is safe there. Zektar stood up. Other customers in the cantina quickly looked away. 10 times my rate. Half now, half when I bring you his head. The Talaxian transferred credits to Zektar's account. Just bring me proof he is dead. I do not care about the body. As the merchant left, Zektar gathered his weapons. His plasma rifle could punch through most armor. His vibro knife could cut molecular bonds. His net launcher would stop any runner. For a human, this seemed like too much equipment. But he always came prepared. An old Zentaurian warrior sat at the bar. Zentaurians looked like lions that walked on 2 legs. This one had gray fur and many scars. He had been watching Zektar's conversation. The Zentaurian approached slowly, keeping his hands visible. Hunter, what do you want, old cat? The warrior pointed at the datapad which still showed Marcus Chen's picture. Human? Yes, easy hunt. The Zentaurian's ears flattened against his head. I fought in the border wars 20 years ago, before humans joined the Galactic Council. So, we attacked a human colony. Thought it would be simple. They had no real military. Just farmers and miners, Zektar waited. Old soldiers always had stories. 50,000 Zentaurian warriors. Best equipment. We expected quick victory. The warrior's voice got quiet. Humans did not run. They did not surrender. They fought like nothing I have ever seen. You won, though. We took the colony, but it cost us 30,000 warriors. For farmers and miners. The Centaurian looked at Chen's picture again. That one has soldier training. Zektar laughed again. Centaurians are weak. I am not. The old warrior shook his head. Before you hunt him, let me give you advice. The same advice we should have gotten before we fought humans. What advice? The Centaurian looked directly into Zektar's yellow eyes. His voice was serious, almost scared. Run! Zektar picked up his datapad and walked toward the exit. The old cat was clearly getting soft in his age. Humans were just another species, weak, slow, and soft. This Marcus Chen would die like all the others. Behind him, the Centaurian ordered another drink and shook his head. He had tried to warn the hunter. That was all he could do. Other aliens in the cantina watched Zektar leave. A few had fought humans before. Others had heard stories. They all knew what the Catherian did not. Humans were different. They did not fight like other species. They did not give up like other species. Most importantly, they did not die like other species. Zektar walked through the station corridors toward his ship. Other beings moved out of his way quickly. His reputation cleared paths wherever he went. Soon he would add a human skull to his trophy wall. Marcus Chen would learn why they called him the Endless. His ship was a sleek hunter-killer class vessel. Fast, well-armed, and equipped with the best tracking technology. The ship's computer already had information about human biology. Average height and weight. Normal lifespan. No special abilities listed. As his ship left Nexus 7 station, Zektar planned his hunt. He would track Chen to the mining colony, study his patterns, learn his habits, then strike when the human felt safest. It would be over quickly. Humans were just another prey species, weak prey, at that. The ship jumped to hyperspace, carrying the greatest hunter in the galaxy toward what he thought would be his easiest kill. He had no idea he was flying toward the most dangerous mistake of his life. The mining colony on Kepler 442b looked like most frontier settlements. Gray metal buildings connected by covered walkways. Large mining equipment scattered around the main facility. Workers moved between buildings in environmental suits, protecting themselves from the thin atmosphere. Zektar's ship stayed hidden behind one of the planet's 3 moons. His sensors could track every movement in the colony. After 2 days of watching, he found his target's pattern. Marcus Chen worked the night shift in the main mining facility. He operated heavy drilling equipment, pulling rare metals from deep underground. During the day, he slept in a small quarters building. He ate meals alone. He did not socialize with other workers. Perfect. Isolated prey was always easier to take. Zektar studied the facility's security systems, basic motion sensors and automated cameras. Nothing that could detect his natural camouflage abilities. His skin could match any background, making him nearly invisible to most electronic systems. He landed his ship in a rocky area 5 miles from the colony. The planet's gravity was slightly higher than standard, but that did not bother him. His muscles were built for hunting on worlds with different conditions. The approach took 3 hours. Zektar moved slowly, carefully using rocks and equipment to hide his movement. His skin shifted colors constantly, matching the gray metal and brown rock around him. Security cameras swept past him without detecting anything. The main mining facility had multiple levels built into the ground. Chen worked on level 3, operating a massive drilling platform. Zektar accessed the building through a maintenance shaft. His claws cut through the metal grating without making noise. Level 3 was a vast underground chamber. The ceiling stretched 50 feet above the floor. Drilling equipment filled most of the space, along with conveyor belts carrying ore to processing stations. The air smelled of metal dust and machine oil. Zektar found Chen at the main drilling station. The human wore standard mining gear, a heavy work suit, protective helmet, and safety harness. He looked exactly like his picture. Brown hair, brown eyes, average height and build. Nothing remarkable. The hunter activated his camouflage fully. His skin became nearly transparent, blending perfectly with the shadows and machinery around him. He moved closer, staying behind cover. His plan was simple. Get close enough for a killing strike, then take Chen's head as proof. Chen shut down the drilling equipment and removed his helmet. He wiped sweat from his face with a dirty cloth. His movements were calm and steady. He showed no sign that he knew death was approaching. Zektar crept closer. 20 feet away. 15. 10. His claws extended slowly, ready for the killing blow. The human's neck was exposed. One quick strike would sever the spinal cord. Clean and fast. Marcus Chen set down his plasma cutter and turned around. "You must be the Cytherian bounty hunter I heard was coming," Chen said calmly. Zektar froze. The human was looking directly at him. But that was impossible. His camouflage was perfect. No one could see him when he did not want to be seen. "First time hunting a human?" Chen asked. The hunter's mind raced. How had Chen detected him? The human had no enhanced senses, no cybernetic implants, no special equipment, yet somehow he knew exactly where Zektar was standing. "Your reputation precedes you, Zektar," Chen continued. He seemed completely relaxed, as if he was talking to a friend instead of a deadly predator. "But here's the thing. Before you make this mistake, I'm going to give you the same warning my species got centuries ago when we first met other intelligent life." Chen took a step forward. His brown eyes never left Zektar's position. "The same warning that apparently no one bothered to pass along to you." The human's voice stayed calm and steady. "Run!" Zektar's confusion turned to anger. This weak little creature was trying to threaten him, the greatest hunter in known space. He deactivated his camouflage and stood to his full 8-foot height. "You cannot see me, yet you knew I was there." "How?" Chen smiled. It was not a friendly expression. "You smell like the recycled air from your ship. Different metal alloys than what they use here. Also, you breathe differently than humans. Slower, deeper breaths, and your heartbeat is faster than ours when you're hunting." "You heard my heartbeat? Humans evolved on a world where everything wanted to kill us. We learned to notice things that don't belong. Your camouflage works on electronic sensors but not on biological ones." Zektar snarled, showing his sharp teeth. "It does not matter. You are still going to die. Maybe. But first, let me ask you something. How many species have you hunted?" 17 different types. "All are dead. And how many of them tried to warn you before the fight started?" Zektar thought about it. "None. They either ran or attacked immediately." "Exactly. We're the only species that gives warnings to our predators." Chen's smile got wider. "Do you know why?" The hunter did not answer. He was growing tired of this conversation. "Because we're not the prey, Zektar. We never were." Zektar attacked. His claws extended fully as he lunged forward, moving faster than most eyes could follow. The distance between them disappeared in half a second. His claws aimed for Chen's throat. The human moved, not away from the attack but into it. Chen stepped to the side and grabbed Zektar's wrist as the claws passed by his neck. The human's grip was strong, much stronger than it should have been. Chen twisted Zektar's arm and threw him into a support beam. The metal beam dented from the impact. The hunter rolled away and attacked again, this time with both sets of claws. Chen ducked under the first swipe and blocked the second with a piece of metal pipe he grabbed from somewhere. The pipe should have been cut in half by Zektar's claws. Instead, Chen used the hunter's momentum against him, redirecting the attack into a wall. Zektar backed away, breathing hard. This was not going as planned. The human was fast. Not as fast as a Cytherian, but fast enough. More importantly, Chen fought like he had done this before. "How many humans have you killed?" Chen asked, picking up another piece of equipment to use as a weapon. "You will be the first." "Good. That means you don't know what you're really fighting." Chen attacked this time. He moved forward with the metal bar, swinging it like a club. Zektar dodged easily, but the human had expected that. Chen's real attack came from his left hand, which held a small plasma torch. The torch burned across Zektar's chest, leaving a painful line through his natural armor. The hunter jumped back, hissing in pain and surprise. "Humans don't fight fair," Chen said. "We fight to win." Zektar pulled out his vibro knife. The blade hummed with energy that could cut through almost anything. He slashed at Chen's head, but the human ducked and stepped inside the hunter's reach. Chen grabbed Zektar's knife hand with both of his own hands. The human was strong, but not strong enough to overpower a Cytherian. Zektar started to pull free. Then Chen did something unexpected. Instead of trying to take the knife away, he helped Zektar drive it forward. But Chen controlled the direction. The blade went into a power coupling for the mining equipment. Electricity arced through the knife into Zektar's hand and arm. The hunter screamed and dropped the weapon. His arm went numb from the shock. "We also don't fight alone," Chen said. He had turned the mining facility itself into a weapon. Alarms started blaring. Emergency lights flashed red. Chen had damaged the main power system, and automated safety protocols were activating. In 60 seconds, the facility would seal itself and fill with fire suppression gas. Chen ran toward an emergency exit. Sektar followed, his arm still not working properly from the electrical shock. The human was fast, but the hunter was still faster. Sektar caught up just as Chen reached the exit. The hunter grabbed the human's shoulder with his good hand and spun him around. His claws were ready to end this fight. Chen was holding a plasma grenade. His thumb was on the activation switch. "You can kill me," Chen said, "but you'll die too. Are you willing to trade your life for mine?" Sektar stared at the grenade. At this distance, it would kill them both. The human's face showed no fear, no hesitation. He was completely ready to die as long as he took his enemy with him. "What are you?" Sektar whispered. "Human," Chen said. "And that should scare you." The hunter released Chen's shoulder and stepped back. The human backed through the emergency exit, still holding the grenade. Fire suppression gas started filling the chamber. Sektar ran for a different exit as the facility sealed itself. He made it out just before the doors locked down. Behind him, emergency systems worked to contain the damage Chen had caused. The hunter stumbled back toward his ship, his arm still numb, his chest burning from the plasma torch. For the first time in his career, he had failed to kill his target. Worse than that, the human had let him escape. Chen could have killed him with the grenade, but chose not to. The prey had shown mercy to the predator. As Sektar reached his ship, one thought kept running through his mind. What kind of species gives warnings to their enemies, then shows them mercy? He was about to find out. Sektar's ship medical bay worked for 3 hours to repair the damage from his fight with Marcus Chen. The plasma burn across his chest would heal, but it would leave a scar. The electrical damage to his arm was more serious. Nerve endings had been burned. His left hand would be weak for weeks. The hunter stared at his reflection in the medical bay mirror. In over 200 successful hunts, he had never been injured this badly. Most of his targets died without landing a single hit. Chen had marked him permanently in less than 10 minutes. "Computer, analyze the fight data," Sektar said. Analysis complete. The human subject displayed several unexpected combat characteristics. Explain. First, enhanced situational awareness. The subject detected your presence despite active camouflage. Second, superior tactical thinking. The subject used environmental factors as weapons. Third, unusual pain tolerance. Plasma torch contact should have caused immediate incapacitation. Sektar touched the burn on his chest. What about his physical capabilities? Human strength and speed measurements match galactic standard databases. However, the subject's performance exceeded normal parameters by approximately 40%. How is that possible? Insufficient data. Human physiology files may be incomplete. The computer was right. Sektar had relied on basic species information that was clearly wrong. He needed to learn more about humans before trying again. His ship's communication system chimed. Incoming message. The screen showed Marcus Chen's face. The human was in what looked like a maintenance tunnel, surrounded by pipes and cables. He had obviously found a way to hack into Sektar's secure communication channel. "Hello, Sektar. How's the arm?" The hunter snarled. "You will pay for that injury." "Maybe, but first we need to talk. See, I did some research on you after our little meeting. Very impressive kill record. But I noticed something interesting." Chen held up a data pad. "Every single one of your targets was brought in dead. Not one alive. That's unusual for a bounty hunter. Most prefer live captures when possible. Higher pay, less legal trouble. Dead targets do not escape." "True. But it also suggests you don't like fair fights. You prefer to kill from ambush when your target can't fight back effectively." Sektar's claws extended slightly. This human was too observant. "Here's what's going to happen," Chen continued. "I'm going to hunt you now. And unlike you, I'm going to give you a chance to surrender." "You? Hunt me? You are prey." Chen's smile was cold. "No, Sektar. I'm a predator. And you just walked into my territory." The transmission ended. Sektar stared at the blank screen. The human was bluffing. One lucky fight did not make Chen dangerous. Humans were still weak, still limited by their biology. "Computer, plot course for the nearest station. We need better intelligence on human capabilities." Course plotted. "Warning, incoming ships detected." Sektar looked at his sensor display. 3 ships were approaching from different directions. Small, fast vessels. Human design. Identify the ships. Unable to identify. They are not broadcasting standard signals. The ships closed in quickly, too quickly for civilian vessels. These were modified for combat. But how had they found him so fast? Computer, scan for tracking devices on our hull. Scan complete. No external devices detected. Then how? The answer hit him like a physical blow. During their fight, Chen had grabbed his shoulder. The human could have planted a microscopic tracker then, something too small for the ship's sensors to detect. One of the approaching ships hailed him. Chen's face appeared on the screen again. Surprised to see me? Humans are very good at tracking things we want to find. Those ships cannot match my vessel's speed. You're right, but they don't need to catch you in space. They just need to herd you where I want you to go. The 3 ships opened fire, not at Zektar's ship but around it. Energy blasts created a pattern that forced him to change course. Away from the nearest station. Away from help. Zektar tried to break free of the pattern, but every time he changed direction, the ships adjusted. They were not trying to destroy him. They were guiding him like farmers guiding livestock. Computer, analyze their firing pattern. Pattern suggests coordination by a single tactical mind. Precision indicates military training. Military training. Chen had been a soldier before becoming a cargo runner. He was not just lucky in a fight. He was trained for this. The ships herded Zektar toward an asteroid field. Dense rocks that would limit his ship's mobility. Perfect place for an ambush. You have a choice, Chen's voice came over the comm. Enter the asteroid field and face me ship to ship, or try to run and explain to your reputation why you fled from a human. Zektar's ship was faster and more heavily armed than anything the humans had. In open space, he could easily escape. But running would mean admitting defeat. Word would spread through the underworld. The great Zektar, running from a human. His reputation was everything. Without it, he was just another killer looking for work. Computer, charge weapons. Set course for the asteroid field. Warning, tactical disadvantage in confined space. I am aware. Zektar's ship entered the asteroid field. Immediately, his sensors were confused by the dense rocks. Energy signatures bounced between asteroids, creating false readings. Visual contact was limited to a few hundred meters. Perfect hunting ground for someone who knew how to use it. Computer, scan for human ships. Multiple contacts detected. Unable to determine exact number or positions. How many ships did Chen have? 3 had herded him here. But there could be more hidden among the asteroids. Humans were pack hunters according to the biological data. They preferred to attack in groups. An energy blast struck Zektar's shields from behind. He spun his ship around but saw nothing. The shot had come from somewhere among the rocks. Another blast, this time from his left side. Then another from above. Multiple ships firing from concealment, then moving before he could target them. Computer, return fire at the energy signatures. Unable to lock targets. Contacts are moving too quickly between cover. Zektar realized what was happening. Chen was not fighting him ship to ship. The human was using the same tactics he had used in the mining facility. Turn the environment into a weapon. Use superior knowledge of the terrain to offset physical disadvantages. A missile struck his rear shields. Then another. His ship shook from the impacts. Shields at 70%. Zektar tried to leave the asteroid field, but more ships appeared to block his path. He was trapped, surrounded by an enemy he could not see clearly enough to fight. Chen, he called over the comm. Face me directly. Why would I do that? You didn't give my people that courtesy when you hunted them. Your people? I have never hunted humans before. No, but your clients have. That cargo I supposedly stole, it was medical supplies for a human colony hit by plague. The Tlaxian who hired you didn't want those supplies reaching their destination. Another missile hit. Shields dropped to 50%. The Tlaxian lied to you, Zektar, just like clients lie to bounty hunters every day. But you never cared before, did you? As long as the pay was good. More impacts. His ship was taking serious damage now. But worse than the physical damage was what Chen was doing to his mind. The human was making him think about his choices. Making him question things he had never questioned before. I do not care about politics. I hunt targets. That is all. And that's the problem. You never asked if your targets deserved to die. You just killed them for money. A large explosion rocked the ship. Something had struck his engine compartment. Engines at 60% efficiency. Hull breach on deck 3. Zektar was losing. Not just the fight, but something more important. His confidence. His certainty. His understanding of his place in the galaxy. What do you want? He called out. I want you to understand something. Humans don't fight fair because the galaxy isn't fair. We fight to survive. And we've learned that sometimes survival means making sure the other guy doesn't get back up. Then kill me and be done with it. No, death is too easy. I want you to live with the knowledge that a weak human beat the great Zektar. I want you to remember this every time someone hires you to kill people you know nothing about. The attack stopped. Zektar waited, but no more shots came. Your ship can make it to the nearest station for repairs, Chen's voice said. But you'll be flying on emergency power. Should give you time to think about our conversation. This is not over, human. Yes, it is. You just don't know it yet. The human ships disappeared among the asteroids, leaving Zektar alone with his damaged vessel and his damaged pride. As he limped toward the nearest station, the hunter realized something terrible. For the first time in his career, he was afraid. Not of death, but of the human who had shown him mercy twice now. Mercy from a predator was more terrifying than violence from prey. What kind of species had that much confidence in their own superiority? The repair station orbiting Vega Prime was a haven for criminals, smugglers, and anyone else who needed to fix their ships without answering questions. Zektar had used it many times before. The mechanics asked no questions as long as you paid their fees. His ship would need 3 days of work. Engine repairs, hull patches, and shield generator replacement. Expensive repairs that would eat into his profit from the Chen job. If he ever completed that job. Zektar sat in the station's cantina, drinking fermented Proximan root wine and trying to understand what had gone wrong. 2 fights with Marcus Chen, 2 defeats. His reputation was starting to crack. Zektar the Endless. The hunter looked up to see Vrix, a Danebian information broker. Danebians looked like walking octopi with too many eyes. Vrix had sold him target information many times before. What do you want, Vrix? To warn you. Word is spreading through the networks. They say you fought a human and lost. Zektar's claws scratched marks in the metal table. Rumors? Maybe, but 3 different sources confirm it. Your ship was seen leaving human space with damage. The human is still alive. Vrix's multiple eyes blinked in sequence. My clients are asking questions. What kind of questions? The kind that wonder if the great Zektar is still reliable. If maybe they should hire someone else for difficult jobs? This was exactly what Zektar had feared. Reputation was everything in the bounty hunting business. Once people started doubting your abilities, contracts dried up quickly. I will finish the job. Will you? Because I have more news. The human has been asking questions about you. He wants to know about your past contracts, your methods, your client list. Zektar leaned forward. What did you tell him? Nothing. Client confidentiality is important to my business, but others might not be so careful, especially if the human offers enough credits. He cannot afford to outbid my clients. Vrix's laugh sounded like water bubbling through pipes. You think this is about money? Humans don't work like other species. They hold grudges. They remember insults. They plan revenge across decades if necessary. One human cannot threaten my entire operation. Can't he? Let me tell you what happened to Grax the Bone Collector. Zektar knew Grax, a Rigelian bounty hunter with a reputation almost as fearsome as his own. What about him? Grax took a contract to kill a human diplomat 6 months ago. Clean kill, looked like an accident. Good pay, satisfied client. And the diplomat's daughter spent 4 months tracking down everyone involved. She found Grax's base of operations. She found his client. She found the middleman who arranged the contract. Vrix paused for effect. She killed them all. Impossible. One human female against a Rigelian hunter? She didn't fight him directly. She studied him, learned his patterns. Then she hired his enemies to attack him when he was vulnerable. Grax died thinking he was betrayed by business rivals. He never knew the human was behind it. Zektar felt something cold in his stomach. Fear was not an emotion he was used to experiencing. Humans think differently than we do, Vrix continued. They see connections where other species see separate events. They make plans that take years to complete. Most importantly, they never give up, ever. Chen is just one human. Is he? How do you know he's working alone? Vrix activated a holo display that showed recent communications traffic. Your ship's communication logs have been hacked. Someone has been monitoring your calls for the past week. That is impossible. Your security is designed to stop conventional attacks. Humans specialize in unconventional approaches. The display showed Zektar's recent calls to weapons dealers, informants, and safe house operators. All of them had been intercepted and recorded. Chen knows everyone you've contacted. He knows where you buy your weapons, where you go for information, where you hide when you need to lay low. How? Human cybernetics specialists. They're the best in the galaxy at breaking into computer systems. Nobody knows why they're so good at it, but they are. Zektar stared at the intercepted communications. His entire support network had been compromised. What does he want with this information? Unknown. But I can tell you what he's been doing with it. 3 of your weapon suppliers have stopped taking your calls. 2 of your informants have disappeared. Your safe house on Rigel was raided by local security forces. The hunter's claws extended involuntarily. Chen is destroying my operation. Not destroying. Dismantling. There's a difference. Destruction is random, violent, obvious. Dismantling is careful, precise, planned. It leaves the target confused about what's happening until it's too late to stop it. Zektar stood up quickly, knocking over his chair. I need to contact my remaining assets. I wouldn't recommend that. Chen is probably monitoring this station's communications too. Any call you make will be intercepted. Then how do I? You don't, that's the point. He's cut you off from your support network. Now you're isolated, operating alone with limited resources. The cantina suddenly felt very small. Zektar looked around at the other customers. Any of them could be working for Chen. Any conversation could be monitored. Any movement could be tracked. Why are you telling me this, Vrix? Professional courtesy. Also, Chen approached me yesterday. Zektar's eyes narrowed. What did he want? Information about you? I refused, of course. But he didn't threaten me. Didn't try to bribe me. He just smiled and said, I understand. Business is business. So? So humans don't give up that easily. If he accepted my refusal that quickly, it means he already has another way to get what he wants. Zektar felt the walls closing in around him. Chen was not just hunting him. The human was dismantling his entire life piece by piece. There's more, Vrix said. Chen has put out word through the criminal networks. Anyone who helps you will become a target themselves. He cannot threaten everyone. He doesn't need to threaten everyone. Just enough people to make others nervous. Fear spreads faster than truth in our business. Zektar's communicator chimed. New message. The sender was listed as Marcus Chen. The message was short. Station security will be here in 10 minutes. The Tlaxian merchant filed a complaint about damaged cargo. Something about antimatter cores being diverted from their original destination. He might want to leave. Zektar looked at Vrix. How did he know you were here? Probably been tracking you since your ship left the asteroid field. Station security records, docking manifests, repair schedules. All electronic, all hackable. This is impossible. One human cannot. Alarms started blaring throughout the station. Security announcements echoed through the corridors. Attention. Security teams to Docking Bay 7. Detain all occupants for questioning. Docking Bay 7. Where Zektar's ship was being repaired, I have to go, Zektar said, grabbing his weapons. Where? Chen knows about all your safe houses. Your suppliers won't sell to you. Your informants are hiding or dead. Where can you run that he won't find you? Zektar had no answer. For the first time in his career, he was truly alone. There is one option, Vrix said quietly. What? Surrender. Turn yourself into Chen before he comes for you. Maybe negotiate terms. I do not surrender. Then you'd better learn how, because this human is hunting you now, and he's better at it than you are. Zektar ran toward the emergency exits as station security closed in on his docking bay. Behind him, Vrix watched with all of his eyes. The great hunter had become the hunted, and he was learning that humans were very good at this particular game. As Zektar escaped through a maintenance tunnel, one thought dominated his mind. Chen had turned the entire galaxy into a hunting ground, and Zektar was the prey. For the first time in his life, he understood how his victims had felt. Zektar returned to Nexus 7 Station 3 weeks later. He had nowhere else to go. His ship was barely functioning. Emergency repairs had kept it flying, but the engines ran rough and the shields flickered constantly. His weapons were nearly depleted. His money was almost gone. Worse than his physical losses was the damage to his reputation. Word had spread through the criminal underworld. Zektar the Endless had been beaten by a human. Contracts stopped coming. Former clients refused his calls. Other bounty hunters whispered behind his back. The cantina on Nexus 7 was exactly as he remembered it. Same smoke, same smell, same dangerous atmosphere. But now the other customers looked at him differently. Some stared openly, others turned away quickly. All of them knew about his failure. Zektar found an empty table in the corner where he used to display his trophies. The wall was bare now. He had been forced to sell most of his collection to pay for fuel and repairs. Only a few skulls remained hidden in his ship's cargo hold. Rough few weeks. Zektar looked up to see Marcus Chen walking toward his table. The human wore simple civilian clothes and carried no visible weapons. He moved through the cantina like he owned it. Other customers watched nervously as he passed. "How did you find me?" Zektar asked. "You came here." "Just like I knew you would." Chen sat down across from the hunter. When someone's entire life falls apart, they go back to the place where it all started. "Are you here to kill me?" "No, I'm here to teach you something." Chen gestured around the cantina. "Look at them. All these dangerous criminals, killers, and thieves. They're afraid of you. Even now, after everything that's happened, they still fear the great Zektar. My reputation is destroyed. Your reputation for being unbeatable is destroyed. But your reputation for being deadly is still intact. That's important." Zektar did not understand. "What do you want?" "I want you to understand why humans are so feared by those who know us well." Chen leaned forward. "We're not the strongest species in the galaxy. We're not the fastest or the smartest. But we have one trait that makes us more dangerous than any other." "What trait?" "We never stop. Ever. Other species fight until they win or until they die. Humans fight until we win or until our entire species is extinct. We don't have a surrender reflex." Chen activated a small holo display that showed a star map. 20 years ago, the Zentorian Empire attacked 3 human colonies. They thought we were weak, easy targets. The colonies were destroyed. But the humans who survived didn't just rebuild. They spent 15 years planning revenge. The display showed the movement of human fleets over time. Humans tracked down every Zentorian military unit that participated in the attacks. Every commander. Every soldier. It took a decade and a half, but they found them all. And killed them? No, they did something worse. They exposed evidence of war crimes to the Galactic Council. Zentorian military leaders were arrested by their own government. The Empire collapsed from internal political pressure. An entire civilization brought down without a single human ship firing a shot. Zektar stared at the star map. Political warfare. Humans fight on every level. Physical, mental, emotional, social, economic, political. We use whatever weapons are available. We don't have honor codes that limit our tactics. You could have killed me multiple times. Why didn't you? Chen smiled. Because dead martyrs are forgotten quickly. Living examples last longer. I want you to spend the rest of your life remembering that a human beat you. Every time someone hires you to hunt one of my species, I want you to remember our fights. What if I refuse future contracts against humans? That's your choice. But I don't think you will. Why not? Because you're a predator. Predators hunt. It's what you are. Chen stood up. But now you know what humans really are. Not prey. Not even competing predators. We're something else entirely. What are we then? You're the apex predators of this galaxy. We're the apex predators of our homeworld, and Earth was a much more dangerous place than anything out here. Chen started to walk away, then stopped. Oh, one more thing. That cargo I allegedly stole? It was delivered to the plague victims 2 weeks ago. They're all recovering nicely. The Tlaxian will hire another hunter. The Tlaxian is dead. Heart attack, the medical examiner said, very sad. Apparently, he had been under a lot of stress lately. Something about his business partners asking uncomfortable questions about diverted medical supplies. Zektar realized what Chen was telling him. You killed him. I didn't touch him. But I did make sure certain information reached certain people. The Tlaxian Merchant Guild takes a very dim view of members who steal humanitarian aid. They handle discipline internally. You destroyed him without laying a hand on him. Humans are very good at making our enemies destroy themselves. We study social structures, find pressure points, then apply exactly the right amount of force to cause systemic failures. Chen walked back to Zektar's table and leaned down. Your mistake wasn't underestimating human strength or speed. Your mistake was underestimating human spite. We remember every insult, every attack, every injustice, and we plan our revenge across decades if necessary. What happens now? Now you go back to your life. Hunt whoever you want. Just remember our conversation every time someone mentions my species. Chen started to leave again, then paused. Actually, there is one small favor you could do for me. What? See that young Altarian over there? The one with the new hunting gear and the confident attitude? Zektar looked where Chen was pointing. A tall, blue-skinned alien sat at the bar examining a bounty posting on his datapad. What about him? He just accepted a contract to hunt a human family on Procyon 4. Refugees who allegedly stole food supplies. The client claims they're dangerous criminals. Are they? They're a family of farmers with 3 young children. The stolen food was expired rations the client was going to throw away anyway. Zektar looked at the young hunter, then back at Chen. What do you want me to do? Give him the same advice that old Zentorian tried to give you. Chen walked away, leaving Zektar alone at his table. The hunter watched the human leave the cantina. Other customers moved out of Chen's way, even though he carried no weapons and made no threats. They could sense what he was. A predator pretending to be prey. Zektar looked at the young Altarian hunter again, fresh from training, eager to make his reputation, probably thinking humans were easy targets. The hunter stood up and walked over to the bar. You are Kesistar of Altair, yes? The young alien looked up. You are Zektar the Endless. I have heard of your reputation. What target are you hunting? Kesitar showed him the bounty posting. Human family. Should be simple work. Humans are weak, according to the files. Zektar looked at the posting. A family of 5. Parents and 3 children. The youngest was only 6 years old. The files are wrong, Zektar said quietly. What do you mean? Zektar touched the scar on his chest where Chen's plasma torch had burned him. Before you hunt them, let me give you some advice. The same advice I should have listened to. What advice? Zektar looked directly into the young hunter's eyes. Run, Kesitar laughed. From humans. You must be joking. I am not joking. I am trying to save your life. The young hunter's expression changed. You really mean it. Humans are not what they appear to be. They are not prey. They are not even normal predators. They are something much more dangerous. What are they? Zektar thought about his fights with Chen. The warnings, the mercy, the systematic destruction of his life, and the final lesson in the cantina. They are teachers, he said finally. And the lessons they give are very painful. Kesitar stared at him. You are serious, completely serious. Find a different target. Humans are not worth the risk. The young hunter looked at his datapad, then back at Zektar's scarred face. What happened to you? I learned what happens when you hunt something that hunts back. Kesitar slowly closed his datapad. Maybe I will look for different work. Smart choice. As the young hunter left the cantina, Zektar returned to his table. He ordered another drink and stared at the empty wall where his trophies used to hang. Marcus Chen had kept his promise. Zektar was still alive, still free to hunt, but he would never be the same. Every time someone mentioned humans, he would remember the lessons he had learned. Some species were predators. Some were prey. And some, like humans, were teachers who used the entire galaxy as their classroom. The great hunter had become a student. And the most important lesson he had learned was simple. When someone warns you to run, you should listen, especially if that someone is human.